Hi everyone. I've been studying languages for more than 5 decades as an adult. Yes, I'm 69 years old. Over that time, I've explored more than 50 languages. Today I can converse in over 30 of them, enough to hold discussions about a wide variety of topics. I've worked professionally and studied at various universities around the globe in 13 different languages. So when I came across the story of Sir John Bowring, a British adventurer who lived nearly 2 centuries ago, I was intrigued. He claimed to speak 100 languages and read another 100. As a polyglot myself, I'm naturally very skeptical of such claims. And don't you think it's strange it's always like an even number, 100 and another 100? Something is amiss. But what does it mean to speak a language? How is it defined in his case when he's claiming such a large number of languages? How much do you really need to know in a language in order for you to say that you speak it? I've made other videos that have specifically looked at this question. An important question is how many domains or what domains in life can the person discuss in each language? And then there's the problem of counting due to dialect versus language. For example, do we treat Serbian, Croatian, and Bosnian as 3 separate languages when essentially they're just one? These are questions every serious language learner asks. But regardless of how we measure it, Bowring's passion for language was undeniable. His story is one of adventure, imprisonment, diplomacy, and an obsession with learning wherever he went. So let's explore his life history and the validity of the claim, as well as possible useful tips for language learning. John Bowring was born in Exeter, England in 1792. He never had formal linguistic training, but he turned the world around him into his classroom. A French refugee priest taught him his first phrases. He picked up Italian from traveling vendors. Spanish and Portuguese came through merchants. German and Dutch from his business contacts. Bowring's method was simple, but relentless. Listen, repeat, and practice. People who knew him said that he would overhear a phrase and then say it under his breath over and over again until it stuck in his mind. For him, the streets were a language school, and every stranger was a teacher. In 1822, Bowring's journeys took a dramatic turn. Carrying documents for a Portuguese diplomat, he was arrested in France. The French authorities suspected him of being a spy. For 6 weeks, he sat in prison. But even in confinement, he didn't waste time. He practiced languages with fellow prisoners, whispered foreign phrases to himself, and turned captivity into another lesson. For Bowring, even a jail cell became a classroom. Over the years, he traveled widely across Europe and Asia. He published translations of poetry and folk songs from Hungary, Russia, Spain, and Serbia, introducing English readers to cultures they had never encountered. Yes, he claimed to speak 100 languages and to be able to read another 100. Almost certainly this is an extreme exaggeration based on my own experience and those of fellow hyperglots whom I know well. But he did know enough to impress scholars and poets and diplomats across continents. For Bowring, every language was more than words. He saw language as a doorway to the heart of a people. Bowring's linguistic skills propelled him into diplomacy. He became Britain's consul in Canton and later governor of Hong Kong from 1854 to to 1859. He negotiated treaties with Siam, today's Thailand, and with Italy. But his governorship was controversial. The so-called Arrow Incident during his tenure helped ignite the Second Opium War with China. His legacy was therefore double-edged, a brilliant linguist and cultural bridge builder, but also an imperial administrator entangled in the politics of the empire. He died in 1872. Whether or not he really knew 100 languages is almost beside the point. What mattered was his passion. He never wasted a chance to learn. From priests, from traders, from fellow prisoners, he lived the life of a man who saw languages as treasures. And perhaps his most enduring words are these: a man who knows one language sees the world with one eye. He who knows two sees it with two. Sir John Bowring saw the world with many eyes and in many tongues. And as I said, I don't believe that number, because I spent 5 decades studying a new language or using a language different than my mother tongue almost every day of my life for the past 55 years. And I can tell you that it's really impossible to reach such a high number. Someone could learn a limited number of phrases, but not be able to discuss many different topics. Nevertheless, I think his passion and this story is inspiring. I hope you also grow a passion for learning new languages, getting to know new cultures and people from around the world. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next video. If you would like to know more about my experience over the past 5 decades, learning and using more than 30 languages around the globe, with adventures in 101 countries so far, then please visit my website, polyglotdreams.com. There you will find my memoir, A Life in 30 Languages, translated in various languages and integrated with audio and dual readers to offer a great way to improve your target languages.